With the NBA regular season officially over and the number 7 and 8 seeds are locked in after the play-in tournament, the 2022 NBA playoffs are finally here! I'll be upfront in saying that this is one of my favorite times of the year. This is when NBA All-Stars become legends and no-name players become household names of future seasons. Today, I'm going to give you my 2022 NBA playoff predictions, capping with who, I believe, which team will be taking home the Larry O'Brien Trophy. But before we begin, welcome to Lurks Lessons, a monthly channel where I explain all you need to know about becoming a sports fan of a professional or collegiate team, along with other sports-related topics. Consider subscribing if you'd like to learn more. Let's begin with the Eastern Conference, where the number 1 seed, Miami Heat, beats the number 8 seed, the Atlanta Hawks, in 6 games. The Heat have put up a solid regular season campaign led by Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo, let alone having the 6th Man of the Year candidate and the 22-year-old phenom Tyler Hero playing insane ball off the bench. The depth and role players on their squad make the Heat a tough opponent for Atlanta to contend with in a 7-game series. Even with Trae Young leading the charge from the Hawks winning the 2 play-in games to get the number 8 seed, ATL doesn't have enough pieces to match up against the Heat. In respect of Young's impressive postseason performances of the past is why I have the Hawks winning at least 2 games, but will still get the early exit. Next, I have the number 4 seed Philadelphia 76ers beating the number 5 seed Toronto Raptors in 7 games. Pairing James Harden with MVP candidate Joel Embiid, the 76ers have found their groove after the trade deadline back in February. They'll have their hands full of a stingy Raptors squad that's led by NBA champions Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam. Plus, Sixers small forward Matisse Thybulle, who's unvaccinated, won't be able to travel with the team to Canada due to their COVID-19 protocols. This is big because Thybulle is an incredible defender and gives Philly an edge. But because the Sixers have home court advantage is why I have them winning in 7. Next up is the defending NBA champions Milwaukee Bucks at the number 3 seed, sweeping the number 6 seeded Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are sadly unmatched against the defending champs. Even with Lonzo Ball, who's out for the entire playoffs due to a knee injury, I personally don't think the Bulls match up well against Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and the Bucks. Chicago was 0-4 against Milwaukee during the regular season, and that's with Bulls All-Star DeMar DeRozan scoring more than 20 points per contest. Look to see the Bucks bench get a lot of minutes in each contest. To wrap up the East first round, I have the number 2 seed Boston Celtics defeating the number 7 seed Brooklyn Nets in 6 games. This entire week, all I've heard is how the Celtics are in trouble against the surging Nets, especially being without lockdown defender Robert Williams III due to a knee injury. I personally don't buy it because yes, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are back playing consistent ball, which is great for the league. However, due to the state of New York's strict COVID-19 protocols throughout the regular season, the Nets duo have only played 7 games together, and I believe that will play a factor in their offensive potential. Ben Simmons could play a factor if he suits up from his back injury, but I don't think he'll have enough minutes to really sway the series in Brooklyn's favor. Plus, Boston is first in the league in defensive ratings, so I'm looking to see the Celtics moving on to round 2 after this exciting matchup. Speaking of round 2, I have the Heat taking the series in 6 games against the 76ers. The Heat's bench is deep compared to the Sixers, and depending on how often head coach Doc Rivers does his rotations for Philly, players like Embiid, Harden, and standout Tyrese Maxey may see more minutes throughout the series. This could hinder their offensive production, whereas Miami has weapons like Tyler Hero, Max Strus, and Duncan Robinson coming off the bench to continue to push the pace in transition. In addition, it'll be too much for Philly to slow down the number 1 team in 3-point percentage, so the Heat will have a shot in competing for their 7th Eastern Conference title. Who they'll meet is the defending champs Milwaukee Bucks, who will beat the Celtics in 7 games. This series will be determined by the bigs on each team. I believe the backcourt is too evenly matched, but when I look closer to the rosters, I see the Bucks gaining the edge when it comes to the paint. This is largely because the Bucks center Brook Lopez is back in the lineup after being injured during the regular season. even though he's only played 13 games this season, no one on the Celtics will be able to stop him on both ends, thus giving the Bucks a big advantage down the stretch, especially when it comes to home court advantage in Game 7. So, in the Eastern Conference Finals, I have the Bucks defeating the Heat in 6 games. A rematch from last year's Eastern Quarterfinals matchup, although it won't be a sweep. The Heat will get at least 2 games due to the brilliance of Kyle Lowry and Bam Adebayo. However, it won't be enough to stop Giannis and company. I believe Chris Middleton will be absolute dominant throughout the series, and unfortunately, Tyler Hero will have a repeat poor performance like he did last year against this same team. The Heat's bench won't be enough to squash the 3rd best team in the league in offensive rating, thus Milwaukee having the opportunity to defend their title by going back to the NBA Finals. Now we're off to the West, where the number 1 seed Phoenix Suns sweep the number 8 seed New Orleans Pelicans. Even though the Pelicans were able to get 1 game against Phoenix in the regular season in their 4-game series, the Suns are looking like a title contender team right now. Led by young all-stars Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, the Suns are poised to take care of the Brandon Ingram-led Pelicans. The only upside for New Orleans is using their experience in winning the 2 games in their play-in run as the number 9 seed in making the playoffs, and use that into next season. Next up, I have the number 4 seeded Dallas Mavericks defeating the number 5 seed Utah Jazz in 5 games. Full disclosure that this pick is solely based on if Mavs All-Star Luka Doncic calf strain injury he suffered on the season finale doesn't withhold him from playing. I'm banking on Luka playing, for he has been a huge force for Dallas along with Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, and Dwight Powell. Utah ranks 1st in the league in offensive rating, however they have blown double-digit leads 6 times this year. Aside from Donovan Mitchell being a consistent threat, I see the Mavs advancing into round 2. Now, for my personal favorite first round matchup to watch, I have the number 3 seed Golden State Warriors defeating the number 6 seed Denver Nuggets in 6 games. Throughout the entire 2022 regular season, Golden State hasn't had their big 3 in most of their games due to injury. Without Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green on the floor, the Warriors still put together a strong season on the backs of Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and Kevin Looney. Nikola Jokic has put together a league MVP caliber season, but without any consistent production from Denver's supporting cast, I can't see the Nuggets winning more than 2 games. The Splash Brothers will go off like they did on their championship run in 2017 to see the Warriors move on. Who they'll face will be the red-hot number 2 seed Memphis Grizzlies, who will beat the number 7 seed Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games. Led by the phenom sensation Ja Morant, the Grizzlies are officially the youngest team in the postseason, weighted by playing time, with the average age of 24.4 years old. That youth driven the Grizz to be the 1st in the league in blocks, steals, and rebounds per game. They'll be put to the test right away because the Timberwolves are supporting a league best in points per game and 3-pointers made, led by 3-point shooting champ Karl Anthony Towns. There's a reason why defense wins championships, and here, Memphis will be able to shut down the high-scoring T-Wolves and will be advancing. In the second round action, I have the Suns again sweeping their opponent, this time against the Mavericks. Dallas just doesn't match up well against the Suns, and with Phoenix being 1st in the league in field goal percentage as a team, the Mavericks don't have any answers for Booker or Ayton, let alone CP3. Yes, Luka is averaging just under 30 points per game, but it won't be enough, not even from winning 1 game at home to slow down the Suns. In fact, the Mavs haven't beaten the Suns in a head-to-head game in their last 9 contests, with their last win on November 29, 2019. Suns will be back in the Western Conference Finals. Next up is my second round favorite matchup, and that's the Warriors barely getting over the edge against the Grizzlies in 7 games. If I'm being selfish, which I truly am when it comes to NBA playoff basketball, I personally hope Game 7 is won in overtime. Experience versus youth, Steph Curry versus Ja Morant. This is the series where Morant will become a household name, much like how Steph did when he played against LeBron in their first NBA Finals back in 2015. Even though Morant will perform out of his mind, I'm taking the Warriors to take care of business at home on Game 7 due to their experience and coaching. They'll move on to compete for their 7th conference title in franchise history. With the Western Conference Finals, I have the Suns defeating the Warriors in 6 games. Both teams match up very well with each other, and each head coach could play matchup ball with whomever is on the court. Both squads have powerful starters and exceptional second unit players. A classic example of basketball chess match will unfold in front of your very eyes in this series. Even the regular season series is split down 2-2. But when the rubber meets the road, I believe Devin Booker will have a phenomenal series, averaging 30+ points per game, helping the Suns win their 4th conference title, thus leading to an NBA Finals rematch from 2021. My 2022 NBA Finals prediction is the Phoenix Suns defeating the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games. In the 2021 NBA Finals, the Suns were quickly up 2-0 heading to Milwaukee and then lost 4 in a row. They were 2 games away from winning their first NBA title in franchise history, having all the momentum. Here, they will correct their wrongs. Both sides have most of their rosters returning who played in those same finals, but I believe this time, Monty Williams, head coach for the Suns, will have an answer for the Bucks small forward Chris Middleton, who gave the Suns headaches in 2021. The Suns will be out for vengeance, but the Bucks won't make it easy on each possession. It'll be a worthy finals rematch to watch, and with Chris Paul finally winning an NBA title at the age of 37. And, most importantly, the Suns winning their first title in franchise history since being founded in 1968. Well, there you have it. Those are my picks for the 2022 NBA playoffs. But check this out. In the description below, I have a downloadable link to an empty NBA bracket for you to fill out for yourself. After making your picks, post it on social media using the hashtag LurksLessons, and let's see who will have the most correct picks. Please know that the link won't be available after an NBA champion has been crowned, so hurry up and get those brackets posted. Alright everyone, my name is Jeff Lurkey, and I'll catch you guys on the next lesson.